Hey everyone, welcome back to Covetous Imp Gaming, and today I want to talk to you guys about character creation and the reasons why a DM would use one method over another. When you're finished with this video, please like the video, leave us a comment below about the method that resonates the most with you, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you can be alerted to our future content, and check us out on Facebook and Patreon. Those links are in the description below. So without further ado, our first method is going to be the point buy method. Now, point buy method starts your character off with a all 8s and gives you a 27 point pool that you can spend to add points into any stat you choose. Points getting more expensive once you reach, I believe, the 14 and 15 mark. I tend to steer clear of point buy because you can basically end up with 3 15s and 3 8s before your racial bonus, making your character basically a glass shotgun. And having a party full of glass shotguns usually can lead to some issues if everybody dumps strength, or you run into a smart NPC who can pick your party apart based on obviously what you're good at and what you're bad at. That being said, I do think point buy has its place. I think it's great for a quick one-shot or something where whether a character is going to live or die, it's not going to be too impactful to the player. So the next one is my favorite non-rolling method of character creation, and that's standard array. Standard array gives you a 15, a 14, a 13, a 12, a 10, and an 8. And you get to put those numbers in whichever one of the 6 stats you choose. The reason that I like it is it provides the party with a path to improve on their stats. They're going to notice as they level up and as they take their ASIs that their character is going to get better. And it's not just I started off at max and now I can just go get feats because my best ability score is already maxed out. It also puts the party on a level playing field. And as you'll see in the examples I give later with rolling, it kind of gets rid of those peaks and valleys. You might have one person who's super good at this thing, but you're not going to have one person who just carries the party through every different encounter that they face. So standard array gives you something that you're really good at and something that you're really bad at, but you get to pick where those go. And you can do it around the flavor of your character. If you don't need strength, that 8 is perfect for your strength. If you don't need charisma or you don't need intelligence, those are great too. But everybody at the table has what they're good at and what they're bad at covered. The other thing about standard array is that it adds up to the magic number of 72, and we'll get back to that 72 in a little bit. Now it's on to the dice rolls. And this one is the hardcore mode. I have not played this way since 2nd edition. And that is 3d6, and you're stuck with it. The reason that I don't like this one is, on average, a d6 roll is a 3.5. So if you round up, you're looking at a 4, which gives your stat that you're going to roll for. Now 3d6 averaged out is 10.5, so that's actually only an 11. So imagine your barbarian having 11s all the way down their character sheet. That strength, dex, and con is pretty horrible. And you're not really good at anything. Now obviously you're going to have numbers that are high, but you also have the chance of rolling 3 1s and starting out with a 3. That's pretty bad too. So how do we fix this? Well, we move on to 4d6 and dropping the lowest number. So this kind of gets rid of some of the bad rolls. You could still roll 2 1s, which is still pretty awful. But you can kind of throw a dump stat together with that and hope that other numbers roll a little bit better for you. So I said I was going to get back to that magic number of 72. And I went into the Google Dice Roller and put in 18d6. And I tested it 6 times to see what a party of 6 would look like rolling up characters. my first person got a 74. And I said, close enough to 72, we'll go with it. The next person got a 71. And again, close enough to 72, not going to argue with it. The next person got a 66, followed by a 57, followed by a 79, and then a 64. Now, that 57 compared to the 79 is a 22-point ability score difference. So that person with the 79 is going to be able to do so much more than the person with the 57. The person with the 57 had one of their ability scores was a 3. And that's horrible. And yes, it's possible, and it's, you can build your character around it. But like most people are going to do, they're either going to dump intelligence or strength. And should a shadow come along and you're the strength dumper, or an intellect devourer and you're the intelligence dumper comes along, you are pretty much guaranteed to be dead after one hit. And that's lousy. I have another method that I tried out one time, and my only real gripe with it was that I had a bunch of level 1 start out with some incredibly inflated numbers. And ultimately, there was still a little bit of imbalance, but the numbers kind of evened out, but everybody evened out really high. And that was 8d6, drop the lowest 2, and the remaining 6 dice had to make 2 of your ability scores. So we had a ton of 18s because people rolled 8d6, got 3 6s, and okay, well that's my go-to stat. And whatever's left over is going to make my dump stat, and then everything else is going to fill in those gaps. But everybody's number was well above that magic number of 72, and everybody just started out super powerful. And I think in a long campaign, it makes it so those ASIs are either going to be, I'm going to take this crazy feat and this crazy feat because those ability scores have already been maxed out for ages now. In researching this video, I did find one that I had never heard of before, and that was called Heroic, where everybody rolls 2d6, and then they add 6 to whatever the result of that 2d6 was, making the 3 impossible and giving you your lowest possible score, an 8, which meets up with what Standard Array already gives you. Your chances of getting Snake Eyes multiple times is pretty unlikely. So I have a campaign starting here within the next few weeks, and I want to put it to you guys, what do you think they should use for their character creation? I personally leaning towards either Standard Array or Heroic because it's going to be a 1 to 20 campaign, and I want them to see that growth in their characters. But I want to know what you guys think, so please leave me a comment below on your favorite character creation method. Next, I'm going to show you a few test rolls that we did of the 3d6, 4d6, and 8d6 methods. Your first rolling option is going to be 3d6 6 times. So this first roll is going to give you an 8 for one of your stats. Your next rolling option is going to be rolling 4d6 and dropping the lowest number. So here we drop a 3 and end with a 13. So the next option is rolling 8d6 and dropping the lowest 2 numbers to make 2 different stats. So here we would drop 2 of the 1s. Make a 15 and a lowly 6. Now alternatively, you could jumble these numbers up in a different way so that you had 2 balanced numbers. Giving you a 12 and a 9 here. In closing, I just want to say I know videos have been pretty inconsistent these last few months. School is done, I have graduated, and that's behind me, and I am excited to say that videos will be on a constant Monday release every week going forward. I want to thank everybody for all their support. I've been surprised at how much things have grown lately. I love to see it, and none of this would be worth it if it weren't for all of you. So we'll see you next week. Have a good one, guys. Keep rolling 20s.